You cannot make an accusation like this.
I think you'd be better off confiding in someone else.
You want Dad to make peace with Drew?
I am prepared to do something that might benefit your friend, Sonny.
Sometimes it's worth making a deal with the devil.
You're making a huge mistake.
General Hospital latest update. Jason turns down Tracy's secret deal, unknowingly dooming Sonny's future. Lulu uncovers bombshell-proof Gio is Dante's son. Emma rages over Josslyn's betrayal, while Joss sneaks into Dalton's office with spy gear. Curtis suspects Portia's hiding something dangerous. Explosive secrets threaten to unravel Port Charles. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. After watching these videos, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. General Hospital. Jason seals Sonny's fate with rejected deal. General Hospital recap for reveals that Jason Morgan sealed Sonny Corinthos' fate with a rejected deal while Emma Scorpio Drake raged over Josslyn Jack's sabotage. At General Hospital, Portia Robinson caught Trina Robinson off guard by admitting she convinced Curtis Ashford to back off his editorial against Drew Kane. Portia suggested it was better to just let Drew do his own thing and stay out of it. At the Brown Dog Bar, Curtis revealed to Jordan Ashford that Portia had suddenly become a Drew apologist. It left Curtis with concerns about the leverage Drew might be holding over Portia. Jordan knew what it was like to get in over her head with a secret, so she urged Curtis to talk to Jordan and hear her out. At Sonny's place, Laura Collins wasn't happy about him possibly selling his peers to Jen Sidwell. However, Laura eventually realized this could be Sonny's mob exit strategy and couldn't stand in the way if that's what he felt was right for his family. At Lulu Spencer's house, she explained to Carly Spencer all the clues that added up to Gio Palmieri being Brooke Lynn Quartermain and Dante Falconeri's son. Lois Cerullo's protective outburst at the hospital last night left Lulu especially convinced. Lulu assumed it was a slip-up when Lois insisted Dante didn't know who Gio really was. If Lulu's theory was right, she felt she had to tell Dante he'd already been interacting with his own son. Carly worried about blowing up Joe's life along with so many others, so she warned that Lulu had better have proof. Lulu had an idea about where to get the final evidence she needed. Meanwhile, Lucy Coe got ready to rehearse a nurse's ball performance with Maxie Jones, Felicia Scorpio and Anna Devane. Jen Sidwell showed up and spoke with Lucy about his ulterior motive for underwriting the nurse's ball since he wanted to establish some goodwill in Port Charles. Lucy clearly believed she saw Sidwell's softer side, which concerned Maxie as she watched them nearby. In Professor Hank Dalton's office, Emma flipped out over Josslyn stealing the research assistant spot, especially after finding out how much she wanted it. Emma assumed Jasper Jacks tossed money around to arrange this, but Josslyn denied it. Josslyn assured Emma that she'd report any illegal lab activities, but Emma wondered why she'd believe her and called Josslyn a bitch as she stormed out. Afterward, Emma met up with Anna and recalled how Josslyn found her thumb drive at the bonfire. It left Emma convinced that Josslyn sabotaged her, so she wanted to talk to Professor Dalton right away. Anna stopped Emma since she couldn't make an accusation like that without proof. There would be other summer jobs, so Anna pushed Emma to let this one go. Back with Josslyn, she locked Professor Dalton's office. Josslyn then scanned the room using some WSB gear and donned gloves before digging through Professor Dalton's research. Vaughn arrived dressed as a maintenance man and startled Josslyn before helping her dig around. Josslyn and Vaughn didn't find anything incriminating, but they both knew the real info they were looking for would be in Professor Dalton's lab. At the Metro Court, Tracy Quartermain gave Jason updates on Brooke Lynn's teenage pregnancy and adoption, but Jason didn't want to get involved in finding Tracy's great-grandson. Tracy offered to stop going against Sonny when it came to the referendum and support him keeping the peers, but Jason still wasn't interested. If Brooke Lynn wanted help, then she could come to Jason herself. Tracy decided that Jason just sealed Sonny's fate and declared that she planned to run Sonny out of Port Charles for good. Once Jason headed to Sonny's place, he admitted Tracy just tried to strike a deal that he turned down. Sonny didn't know all the details, but he didn't think they should be making deals with Tracy anyway. General Hospital spoilers say Sonny has some setbacks in his future. Today's next update, Lulu believes she knows how to prove Gio is Dante and Brooke Lynn's son, Plus, look who is appearing in the nurses' ball. Today on General Hospital, Curtis suspects Drew has something on Portia, Tracy makes Jason a tempting offer, and Emma suspects Joss stole her work to get the job with Dalton. Lucy, Anna, Maxie, and Felicia meet at the rehearsal space for the ball. They are waiting for the main attraction to arrive, so Maxie offers to fill in for her. Lucy wants this to be a big showstopper, and they begin working on their routine when Jens shows up. He thought he'd stop by to see if everything is running smoothly, seeing he's paying for everything. Emma is furious with Joss. In Dalton's office, Emma learns Joss got the research job and screams, "You stole my position." Joss says she didn't steal anything, and she earned this fair and square. Emma cries that she should have told her that she was applying for the position, and she stabbed her in the back. Emma asks if her daddy bought her this job. Joss says her dad had nothing to do with this, and if Dalton is doing anything unethical, she'll let the authorities know. Emma doesn't believe her and says she's nothing but a spoiled and untrustworthy bitch. She storms out. Anna cautions Emma. Back at the rehearsal space, Lucy tells Jens to have a seat and they'll show them what they are working on. Suddenly, Emma storms in looking for Gio. Anna says he's gone and takes 5 to talk to her granddaughter. They step out, and Lucy tells Jens how wonderful he is in underwriting the nurses' ball. Jens admits he has an ulterior motive. He says since the word got out about his donation, the people of this city have been so much more welcoming of him. Lucy tells Jens he is an amazing person, and it's become her mission to make everyone else in town know it. Felicia talks with Maxie, who is still worried that Deception's association with Jens may come back to haunt them. Jens eventually has to go and hopes their act will be worth the wait. Lucy promises it will be. In the hall, Emma tells her grandma about Joss getting the position she wanted. She thinks Joss sabotaged her drive and stole her work. She needs to tell Dalton, but Anna says she can't make an accusation like this without proof. Anna tells her there will be other jobs, and she needs to let this go. Joss gets help. In Dalton's office, Joss uses WSB tech to scan the place and then breaks into his desk. Someone tries to open the door, which she locked. She quickly puts things back, but it turns out it's only Vaughn dressed as maintenance. He tells her good job, snagging the research position, and it's time to get to work. They begin searching the place and taking photos. They also crack into Dalton's computer. They get everything they can but realize the real evidence they need won't be found here, but is in Dalton's lab. Portia surprises Trina. In Portia's office, she's on the phone ranting to Drew when Trina arrives. Trina was visiting with Kai, but he had to go to physical therapy. Portia asks how Kai is doing, and Trina says he's putting on a brave face, but the documentary guy keeps following them around. She has to bite her lip to keep from commenting on Drew. Portia says it's not their place to convince people about Drew, and she just had a talk with her father about not running an editorial on Drew. Trina asks why her mother did that. Portia claims she was afraid Drew could sue her father. She wasn't in favor of Kai's surgery, but it worked out, so she thinks perhaps they should back off Drew and find some middle ground that doesn't involve conflict. Trina asks if she wants Dad to make peace with Drew. Portia will settle for just coexisting, and she thinks Curtis will listen to her. Curtis shares his suspicions. At the Brown Dog Bar, Curtis tells Jordan that he believes Portia is lying to him. She feels he should be discussing this with someone else, given their history. He believes her background can help him, so she asks what is going on. He says Portia's become a Drew apologist almost overnight. Curtis tells Jordan how Portia talked him out of using Aurora to write an article on Drew, saying he was biased. He's also walked in on several of their private conversations, and something feels off, like when Portia was lying to him about Trina. He knows his wife hates Drew, which could mean he has leverage over her. Jordan suggests he talk to Portia and hear her out. Curtis says he'll try, and he prays he's wrong about all of this. Sonny explains the situation to Laura. At Sonny's, Laura tells him that he can't sell to Sidwell, as he is a horrible man. Sonny tells her the bigger picture is that sometimes it's worth making a deal with the devil. He says this would free her of their political connection, but Laura is willing to bear that burden. She doesn't want Sidwell to build an operation here and can't believe he'd sell out. Sonny explains this isn't about the money, which makes Laura realize he's planning his exit strategy. Sonny isn't leaving Port Charles and will need a security detail, but he deserves a fresh start. Laura can't help but think about what Sidwell taking over means for the city. Sonny knows that between the WSB and PCPD, they'll keep him in check. If he sells to Sidwell, it will be a peaceful transition and prevent turf wars. Laura is still concerned about what Sidwell's plans for Port Charles are. Laura worries Sidwell won't keep the peace with the other families and will usher in a new era of crime. However, she understands it's unfair to ask him to sacrifice his life and family for Port Charles, so she supports him walking away if he feels it is time. Lulu makes her case to Carly. At Lulu's, Carly tells her that this isn't her child, this child has another family, and if she finds this child, it will be a huge mistake. Lulu cries that she's having a hard time keeping this secret, and she's pretty sure Dante's son is here in Port Charles and that it's Gio. Carly asks why she thinks it is Gio, as he wasn't adopted. Lulu explains he's the right age, and she believes Lois and Gloria arranged for their Chirulo cousin to adopt him. Carly calls it a stretch, but Lulu says not if Carly saw what she did last night. Lulu tells her about Dante ripping into Gio, blaming him for covering for Rocco and Danny, and Lois intervening. Lois said, "You don't know what you are saying, and you don't know who he is." Carly admits that it is weird. Lulu reveals that Dante talked about how Gloria and Lois never let Gio stand on his own 2 feet, and she suspects Brooke Lynn might even know Gio is her son. Her theory makes sense, and if Gio is Dante's son, she has to tell him. Carly says Lulu isn't thinking about how this will turn Joe's life upside down. He'll learn everyone he has loved has lied to him, even his mother. She tells Lulu this isn't her secret to tell. Lulu argues that this boy would be Sonny's grandson and Tracy's great-grandson. She realizes Sonny being in Joe's life all these years proves she's right, and that's why Lois made him so involved in his education. Carly says this is a mess, and she better have proof that Gio is Dante's son before she tells him. Otherwise, this will blow up in her face. Lulu believes she has all the evidence she needs and reveals what Ned told her. Brooke Lynn was on tour with her mom and Miguel when her baby was likely born. She also has a hunch about where to look for hard evidence. Tracy offers Jason a deal. At the Metro Court, Tracy tells Jason that he can't tell anybody about what she's about to tell him, including Sonny. She informs him that Brooke Lynn had a baby boy as a teenager and gave him up for adoption. Tracy wants him to find the boy. She explains that back when it all went down, Brooke Lynn went to her mom for help, and Lois and Gloria arranged a closed adoption of the boy. Jason asks if Brooke Lynn wants her son found, because if so, he should be having this conversation with her. Tracy admits Brooke Lynn doesn't know she's doing this, but she must know who her great-grandson is. Tracy worries the boy could be in trouble, and he should have been raised a Quartermain. Jason says this is none of his business and he's not getting involved. Tracy figured he'd have objections, so in exchange for his help, she will withdraw her support from the Measure C referendum and advocate for Sonny to keep his property. Tracy says the boy means this much to her. Jason feels for her, but he can't help her and needs Brooke Lynn's permission to do this. Tracy trusts him to keep this to himself and will find the boy through other means. She also tells Jason that he sealed Sonny's fate, and she won't stop until she runs him out of Port Charles for good. The show's final moments. Tracy heads to the rehearsal space and runs into Jens, who is leaving. She lets him know she's fully committed to getting rid of their mutual problem. She heads in, and Maxie tells her she's late and they need to rehearse their dance. Tracy announces she's not dancing, she's singing, and they are dancing around her. Back at Sonny's, he tells her that Laura's friendship and support mean everything to him. She feels the same about him. Laura heads out, and Jason arrives. Sonny explains that he told Laura about Sidwell's offer. He says Laura didn't like it but understood and accepted it. Jason tells Sonny that how Tracy offered to cut off her support for Measure C, but he turned her down as she wanted a favor in return. Sonny says they don't need to make deals with Tracy, and Laura made him realize that it's okay for him to focus on taking care of his family. On the next General Hospital, Liz confronts Rick, remembering that he said something about the brakes. Alexis turns to Spinelli to help her save Christina. Christina vents to Dante that she doesn't know if she can forgive her mom. Drew says, "I know exactly who to call." Carly cries to Jason, saying that she has to get those kids out of that house. Willow is served papers and panics. Thanks for watching, General Hospital fans. If you're loving the drama in Port Charles, smash that like button, drop your theories in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. More explosive updates are coming soon.